Stage zili technical simbi safety soka da tebata kama wapi safety tebadembi tuwe bazamba credit so far mo katwa dem no challenges ibuka mugia number 5 na yenga tugeza technical tugeza ko maintaining ambola
Hello? Calling you now. Sawa zino sina taaga tebakira kuyampadde taaga naye oli ludda wano.
Butter. Enforce every day. All right, very good evening and welcome aboard to the Podium show every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review in the world of motorsport, local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 29th day of June 2026. Sorry, I'm only hoping that everything has shifted your way. From the last time we did run this show, as usual, to go to mfuna ebirungi tubaza katonda tumusabatu sekone binjebira kuba bite bigwayo then nabachafunye mu buzibuzibu tumusabatu mele kompenda tsomoko obuzibu obwo tulivinga obulamu obuli better. The Podium on Fat TV ne ku 102.1 Fafama every single Monday we do preview and review in the world of motorsport. Zakesh, as usual, program in Sokubango Jira, now since Okubango across the entire world using the Fufa Media app. You Sokubango downloading more Play Store, App Store, definitely be able to watch Fufa TV. No Kubango is 102.1 Fafama 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, wherever you are across the entire world. Waruo, Chaliwanga, Luze Bakstani, engage ya tukayo. Yanyonyura ne program ena agiraba nnyo mulabo nnyo wa program era badenzi ja musho na mpeleza akamese nti kwendi alabye sideways ndozo zibadde za Oscar Ntambi before the producer akifana just soba wakawo agaye kwendi ne mwamba okay ali just outskirts za Baku which is the capital city of Uzbekistan. Kale nze kesh nina Job Brewer amaze banga dene ngali kaswa ndoza championship ya kaswa ajuangu de banga undisputed kaswa champion nane Omar DAUDA no nako lwalero DAUDA takomokuba ne wanondoza nga agenda bagana mu event fundraising which was last year. It was a success. DAUDA natugumulako it's so the IVORY wale yali achesunze tulamu modoke ali live wana mu show netali ku set ne yali live yali yagamba nti modoke wetukira agenda kuba tulamu amitasa nikaterega leo le moka jayagalo tulamu ne jatulamu kati the difference is chiro na misana ene jo sabuza kwatala watuliza then tuna DAUDA anagenda kuba tubulira season webadde ne of course yafuna very misfortune is a massacre. That was the first stage. After the first stage of Yalisagam 14, Yawangwa Duncan Mubiru, Nadiru Asana Arui, Munana Nedaho, ne walo screenshot Jenina, Abatali Murale, Buruenjiraga Bangamba stage to Adiwangula, was screenshot Raga 1209. Ate Yawangala Yebanga until Arui. We had an jao, then Duncan finally na Jono with the word. So stage otwaji wangula kubantu amabaganti Duncan yajiwangula statistics ziragabirala. But anyway, John so ko na batuliza then we pick it up.
Kanta ko kanzukiza Isabosa Kayaswa the rally driver. Yagena na avuga. Run yesoka basoka ne bateka time ye. Kati bana basigale bagenda okuvuga nga tibateka okuchusa time nasigalayo kati up to today believe agamba yawa wangula stage
ne Isabosa mu Fiduga Estate Nsimbe yali ndoza after that yali mutwali mu GC8 I think yali ajja fakame nga agezaako okuteka out time unfortunately of kamba ne mujjako so ne tulolinga so pale mulinga mambo tubakuyita watu
baptism by fire awatwa mwenana batuliza muje baleko tubakulisayo nakolwalero mubaje mukuteka engalo and all the best in everything that you do mukulike masaka je twabaddemu je twali a few weeks back. Good luck to all those who did it. Bad luck kwa baba failinga okukimekinga no event west wezibera Masaka twali busy COC super special stage COC special stage kugamba I don't want to tell you sometimes when you work smart ebintu bitambula ne Masaka was a very interesting event wali happened tewali nkuba too much dust ne eventually it was yatamlanga bwe yali
the weather forecast was yatulaga nti it might rain. So you had mad grip. Unfortunately, because the sasa wajetaga.
Then there's a jemulage maso. Mjajetaga. Then of course mukulikaye mu weekend jetawademu F1 and of course rally Greece. Very chaotic event. Yanyumye abamu netusala netuluma ne ebitu biba. That is rally for you.
Ati Job Brewer producer mtaginze ko member Enduro Club Uganda. Ne wali mu SM wali volunteering mu SMC event.
Nali into expertise ya. Maibo berango ndi mumanyi.
So you are the one manning the super special stage. Did you get any report about the super special stage?
Yes, I did.
On air ngena kuwe yange. Very not interested. Dauda sauzo na uzuzi.
Omukisa guno okwebaza management ya Fufa TV, Fufa Radio kunteka kunjaza omundo gw'okubiri okubira ku mpewo za Fufa TV. Last time mkulu wange kesinga babagambe twali wano nga tugenda fundraising ya gwanga mujje. Era ekigendererwa kyavaayo bulungi emmotoka twagifuna. Era ebadde weeri nga tugezaako kuteekawo challenge naye nga beebaza nnyo kunjaza omundo gw'okubiri.
Okay, producer tagenze Dauda driver with rally team with Wakabi Innocent and Dauda.
Yes.
Okay. Twali wane Dr. Anseleko last week. Nga team ye Fong rally team. So you asked him Fong, not remember Fong Chigwa friends of Anseleko Godfrey. Fong. Okay. Kali. Producer so to upcoming events setoro by someone no? Mwaka jira bedduka. Yakola times katereganga gamba isobokane yabikola. Yeah, the events that motorsport is on the motocross calendar round 6 of the National Motocross Championship. It don't cut from the 10th up to 12th of July. Kusinza calendar organized by Enduro Joyo Club in Limitiana. Waliyo Motocross of African Nations 27th 30th of August, Namibia, which Uganda of course will take part. Those are the African Cup, motocross, Africa, it's one event. Then Waliyo MXON, Ali France, from 1st to 4th October, of course Uganda, but they Syndicate, and let's hope they do the same. Then the 7th round of the National Motocross Championship, a run card from the 23rd to the weekend, 23rd to the 25th of November, organized by Southern Motor Club, either Mbarara or Busika. We watch the space. The last round of the national motocross calendar this year, 11th paka 20 weekend year, 11th paka 25th. I think they are yet to choose a date. That is in December. Round the Yokubiri, CSC, which of course Kenya will host either in Inzokuba Vipingo, which is in Mombasa. Of course, Uganda hosting round 1 at the same time. Round 3. National Motocross Championship, Wali Garuga Raceway Track. So that is the motocross. And
of course, round 1, Uganda ya Wangula.
Of course, yeah, it's very dominant.
Round 2, Kenyans of late, bawedeba tebacha fielding a team ya manyi. I think another competition, bawedeba and other things also. So, Katusubident this time around, they put up a better performance.
Okay, but let's also calendar. We go through it. That's the one for motocross. Yeah, the one for rally, the first round yali Mbale, round 2 yali Mbarara, round 3 Abadde Masaka, round 4 organized by Eastern Motor Club, a on card from the 24th to 25th of July. Producer Gambe, Edikata Stroke Soroti, NRC 4, NRC 5 to be communicated, TBC organized by Uganda Motor Club, that is UMC, 4th to 6th September. Round the Mukaga, Mwenda Paka Kumi, that is the Independence Weekend, Guru. I think the event coincides with the Independence celebrations. Then round 7, Hoima, organized by UMAR, 9th to 11th November. Round 8, Mozak, 10th to 13th of December, Central Region. But of course, round 1, Asanari, Musansubuga. Round 2, Randip, Enokli Royolinga. Round 3, Asanari. Ne Musansu basokubanga bazwangula
round 4 tusubirayo munana
okwa accommodating akaterega round 1 bebajiwangula bebani yene Sunday mu FX
bavuga motoka
FX Asana ali very selfish yenga ye co-driver kulembere championship ne driver aleta file na driver ne watajiwangula yekasawangula okay but so that is the calendar ya rallying, so you need to plan your time nobody yeah atwade ya W26 twasoka Monaco ne tugende Sweden ne tudde Kenya, which was the safari rally eri recently bawa Tundo the overseas. Let's hope 2027 calendar erako. Yeah, I see you, yes. Round 4, yali Croatia. Round 5, Spain. Round 6, yali Portugal. Round 7, yali Japan. So round 8, you're going to go get later on in the course of this show. Yabada Acropolis, which was run by Sebastian Oje, legendary Sebastian Oje. Yabada 25th, 28th of June. That was yesterday. Then round 9, Estonia from the 16th to the 19th of July. Round 10, Finland, July 30th, 2nd August. Round 11, Paraguay, 27th, 30th of August. Round 12, Chile, 10th, 13th of September. Round 13, Italy 1st paka 4th October, round 14. Saudi Arabia, that should be 11th paka 14th of November. WRC calendar this year, enough 14 events. Africa has only one event, which was hosted by Kenya, and one by the crew of the Kenya Safari Rally. Dominating. Okay, that's the motorsport calendar.
Won by Katsuta.
Takamoto Katsuta. So far now wins Bidi this season. Nenga so bagatandika bulungi nnyo winning Monaco, winning Monte Carlo. Very good performance from him. Okay, so you need to plan your times. No, the motorsport for about the resources and time. In fact, even time is a resource. So 2 resources. Planning.
Kenya yazukidde Motorsport Kenya. Motorsport Kenya.
Yes.
The
new body in July.
By
event in July,
so
which will be their first NRC.
First NRC, yes.
Last year they only had one event.
NRC.
NRC yabe kati era last year by event emu yoka with Safari Rally kati amaka kuno bade era bakakola ko Safari Rally kati and they were going to tell like that, but fortunately kati bazukide bagenda kufuna which is interesting kati bagise NRC 1
actually they know the WRC it is scoring up ARC.
Yes.
It was the first round of the ARC. So the WRC was the second round, was the third round of the World Rally Championship.
Yes.
At the same time, the first round
of the ARC, and the first round of the Kenyan National Rally Championship.
The first round of Kenyan Rally.
Yes, that's why you had Motkezavugira National. It was the first round. So the shouldn't maybe post
round 2.
Round 2 for July. Yes.
Okay. We watch those developments and keep you posted. Kari, tuna Omar Dauda, the last time we were here with you, we fundraising. Okay, we came back after the show, talked about it, but maybe also to a sneak peek at on how the fundraising went. Then, since that time, how are things been moving for the team? Because Nanabe this year prior to the event in Masaka, if I'm right, you had 83 points. Good performance in Mbale, same as Pal, and here we are unfortunately so after the fundraising, you bring us up to speed paka until the Masaka event.
Kituufu fundraising njagamba nti yali yatambulira obi kuba twalina mukulu wange oyo tugikwasaganya of course yakinamu omukono era twalwana paka
ne report wagifunanga event ewedde
yesigalira bandi naye nga okutwaliza wamu event yatambulira si obi olwakubadde nti tiyakavalinga buli kimu nga twatusuubira naye njasugaddala okwebaza badriver bannange kuba bawulira omulanga ne bajjera ne bambeererawo bangi bavuga event eyo era ddala n'abantu abajja ku event baali tebasuubira naye yali success ku side yange era nasobola okola nti moka twagifuna ne tugiteeka ku kkubo tugivugamuuko late omwaka gwedde event zaali 2-3 bwezi nga tukyageza okulaba kyesobola nekitasobola twagenze Mbale nga tutandika NRC yaffe esooka event yali almost success naye at the end of the day power stage ngesembayo twatomera embwa netukostinga twalina tukuva mu kyewa kyali kifo kya kubiri bwensuubira naye pamala okuba embwa emoka nayo ne radiator intakula netufuna setback twamaliza mu kifo kyali kya 7 bwenzijukira nekitukosamuko so netujja mu Paala tuddamu netweteekateeka netugezaako kuddamu okupushinga netugivuga mu event ya Paala twakoma mu Paala kifo kyali kyakutaano ku NRC ng'oggyeko ARC jjukire moka walize bavuga ebinaffe kati eno baasi ekyali baasi so twavaayo n'ekifo kyali kyakutaano naye ng'olabye ddala nti ku championship twadde tulina omukono ogw'amaanyi njo kigamba naye unfortunately twafunyemu obuzibu mu event yasembeyo e Masaka emoka engine yakitadde ng'enjoga ennaku zino bweri engine yafudde mu stage yadde esooka yaddala yennyini twali ne stretch empanvu obulungi era nga nsuubira nti ab'obukere tujja babeerabeerako awo kumpimpi unfortunately engine nefa kyova namwe abamunana mwasobodde okweyagalamu
naye ate ffe tubalina buzibu nammwe mwenna nammwe neyo bandibadde muna twali tubatwala buto
era olwolao telunawo kuggwa
tuli mu bate
kituufu Esebo naye nga okutwaliza wamu just twafunye obuzibu obwo twafunye setback kulwanira engulo ya mwaka guno ya NRC nti esaawa zino tuli mu kifo kya kutaano bwesuubira wakama waffe ndoza ngamaze okubalabalamu
kategana competitions yakola I think akuwagira nnyo ng'akuteeka mu kyakubiri ng'akujoodanka nali mu kyokubiri muga mukulu bino bifu ndamu bale ebintu nga mutadde mu kyakubiri simanyi n'agamba singa yamaze alina points yamu asoma singa yamazeeko Masaka singa aliwo muga batwagalabirize nnyini yamaze
kasabituka musinga
akateeka mutuufu era nenjagigamba nti naye alinga keshi bodda ku side eri ya munana nti naye ayagala tiemu
munana nze newe etuwa essanyu ebikola Hassan Baira wendoza namuwadde lisiya ayagala nnyo namubuuza ku Dauda ne Jonas ani gwe yanyagadde otuula ngamba I was very surprised soka Jonas era omwana
naye mutuufu wagamba tajagenda Jonas olw'ensonga yewedde atambula Masaka oyinza bamubuuliza mu alina okuddamu.
Anyway, so Dauda agamba yafuna setback e Masaka and there was no way you could that rally yayina that stretch after the turn ngoma zo turning left in 9.8 kilometers. At that point yali but in our Waina knows around one to us you had 1 kilometer then those are okay those who follow I use the language right 5 because a corner nenga mwalimu omutinga kuli ku right so you could see that corner then at Omalawo straight there's another stretch of around 1.2 kilometers nosanga brow then nokola chileft challenge one awo nawone motoka ndoza you could go all out for the commit I think that's what Daudi
was insonga chemoka yange yafa because after that left too ku main road ya 9 point say kilometer
9.8 kilometers
to the sign already byonna ndina ino tya mugiya kulinya mulio full thought sajja ko right 5 ngabo ligambi sajja ko my own reading yali ko eri brow yali kind of a bridge that was my betting.
I remember Nasrale Roma Nasanga Bunya we had lunch with him in Nabugabo and instead of eating food he was shedding tears nemuga mukulu yo yachi byayo ena neduka nebimutera unasigala nga akabwa kutadde
cyari kucyanya
bichimya chinya Bunya olupapula wange yalumalo lwa event ngangeza ko mu trying to bring him back no nenyito ine mu restaurant ekiro ndoza mwanguzi yabikola and Prince Agambo we go in for a short commercial break what come out of course Dauda from the Evo 6 bali wajita papa to the Evo 10 Dauda jatubuli how the car feels bagamba it's a Benz the Evo 10 is a Benz and Joe then he also tell us then tulabe Dauda what he plans to do and the fans out there abenzo kubanga ndoza mkwatira ko as far as the upcoming event abelenga participating. We're going for a break, get back and move that. All right, we're back from that short commercial break. It's a Podium every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight where we preview and review in the world of motorsport. Now, Joe Brewer, member in Enduro Club, Uganda, and DAUDA from W.I.D rally team. I got a message prior to the show, another one called gentleman Atuhura. He's a very, very ardent. Aliwano. Nebuli rally abanda nonya konyo. Those are bakadaga. Namusanga Nabugabo Sand Beach after our first run. So young guy, you introduced him. So nice thing. You know, times they try to cause them on Nabugabo 10. I think we call 148, 147 in one of the lanes. Nagambus, we took down to introducing at that time. It's unfortunately, you guys canceled the second run. So nemugamba tuba kujiddamu twali tukikoze so ngana option nazijamu so tugende da. Okay, that's what they're about from the fundraising of the car to the history jebadde tambudde and let's first maybe give us a difference between because naliko wano nkubuza why the shifting because I'll give an example kumubuze nga sebuguzi from the Evo 6 to the Evo 9
from 4 to 6.
4 to 6, then
4 to 9.
Sorry, 4 to
4 to
9.
9, then from 9 to 10, then 10 kati the proto. So normally omuntu abakola upgrade, even Ponsiano, from GC8 to the N8, we have N8 to the N12. You ask Ponsiano why not the N10 or N11, why N12? Now the differences are if I buy this, why did you from the Evo 6 to the Evo 10? Because that was the decision. I don't know, because of the time there's a video producer sometime that was what was training that time. Maybe because as a result interview offer was there.
Exactly. It wasn't planned ogenda mu Evo 10 era nga buli mubamanyi baweebuze ebiseera ebisinga naye omukisa gwajja twalina okukozesa. Of course site tukolera olw'ensonga nti emoka zitukompitinga nazo essaawa zino bodda ate mu 9 atodde mu olabanga challenge oba okyali walakoko naye nga difference between the Evo 6 and the Evo 10 emoka eri quicker than the Evo 6 naddala power akusindiko n'asooka oyo bw'ogeraganya 6 nti ostrugglinga nnyo naye ati 10 bw'osiba n'ovaawo mu budde obutuufu.
Then the 9 and the 10.
9 and 10 ali still because ne 9 agivugako naye ng'olaba nti still 10 it's quicker and stability yayo olyanga yanjawulo ku 9 tolina challenge olya nti ekujjako. Of course nawe mbuzi nti sina okwesigalizaayo nti oba ne handling eyiyo ng'omuntu naye n'emmotoka erina byekyusa bingi kuba tibera bw'ogeraageranya proto bannaffe ze bavuga ne Evo 10 olaba ate nga gwe ate olingagaze mu 6
yenga ali mu 10
yenga ali mu 10
wonder what are there stages zogamba nti Evo 9 esookuba the Evo 10
tewali mbanji waayiriza
teri
tekisoboka okulekanga muvuzi nze mubi obanga ali mu 10 ye mubi naye nga era ku lunaku olulungi nkakasa kebe 10 nyinyi esookuba proto y'obulungi nnyo
bobo committees naye waliwo stages ezimu 8 eziyinza okuba 9 gamba kimunye Masaka
esobola
manejagala ayogere akanda kyogereza nekitadde olwomuzindalo gumugyeko kyo DAUDA upgrading and you see when someone upgrades madwatu subira mbingi. Now there's much talk about okay ajifulala for you know the banter that comes out singaji bera kaswa nali embali singaji fulala for there's a jump the naliko one of the moments I think yali stage at time bisibu where to me the drive of that weekend mwe rally yali aluna kataza even the producer na bite jatuza nyinaga kataza gama nti yali ese masinale driver muzungu not sajita mu latini so yakyuse nnyo. That was Pastor David Mwesigo naye walo jump zetwaliko ebbiri towards FF you do a right then mwalimu jump ngova mu right what mwalimu jump esooka nga if you don't take it well the car can nose dive eyokubiri yali take off nungi. So what these guys do a jump of right 5 eyo na downshifting mu 4 nakuba jump nafuna landing enungi bwakuba eyokubiri the same momentum yemutwala mu yokubiri kasemotoka landing await nga zamu 5 nga akaza abali awo wala bajjamu engoye because I think because of the approach of those jumps and these guys also did it absolutely well. So if a driver got DAUDA does switch from the Evo 6 to the Evo 10 the expectations are really high.
Yeah, kubanga era buli omu abakimanyi nti oba wapuganiza emotoka performance balina ku improve automatically tuba oba the motoka eri inferior to motoka eri more technical kati fe awalabi tuba tumanyi nti akati it is a done deal but at the end of the day nga bwayogedde kisizira ku muvuzi oba tawera era tajja jijjamu kati fortunately DAUDA already bamulaba nti awera in terms of performance when he was in the 6 even when he was in the 4
kati abangwa 40 emirundi ebiri
exactly naye nabalaga nti asobola yavugako ne ku N10 naye nabalaga nti he has what he can take it kati in the Evo 10 we expected so much but knowing the way DAUDA races wakati naye eyinza obutaguma bulungi in terms of putting the parts together but when the car is on the track ngetambula it will give you the maximum and so far okuva lweyagitandika he has been showing good show. He's basically, Murzungu Bagama, he's given a good accountability for his purchase. So Muten, that has been a very phenomenal driver. Era asigadde ali exciting. Eri abantu abalaba. Ndala fa bakaswa. The championship ya kaswa eri competition ya amaanyi. Eriko Batolman, eriko
Tolman ajivuga nyiza ndala baira. Ekati yegulidde eri nyambuli event akola interview. Ni event akankomawo. Era bwage mbali tasimanya I20 okay, we watch this space.
Tujamulaba. But it's been good to watch. Unfortunate what happened in Mbale. First of all, Mbale, Nayaganyo competition Kataza Diateka and the other gentleman, the Ethiopian. What's his name? Valeri. Yeah, he made that battle for position number 3 between Oscar, DAUDA, Valeria, and Kataza. Very, very exciting. Now, come to Masaka, we missed Valeria. But unfortunately, Dauda got out of the equation very early in the morning. So, Natulekera Kataza and Oscar. And Kataza definitely, for me, driver of the day in Masaka. He's so far 2 for 2.
In Masaka?
In Masaka, Kataza is my driver of the day. And as he should make everything.
How do
I talk about Munana? No, let me tell you. Munana has been performing. I'm giving you a fact.
Munana underperformed in Masaka because of its issues.
And there are issues. Because you are here.
Munana is always having issues.
Always. Simani breaks. Always stories. Not that we are gamble. Innocent we are gamble. So Munana has always been performing. Nenga, in my view, he take a handbrake. Kasana ko jam handbrake. He will go flat out. Karabantu bota subira abataina gondi historioyo like Kataza. When they show up and do something spectacular, you're like, yeah. Actually mwali. Never tunagena event yokuna yokutana tumumanyira. Then we shall start putting him against Munana, against Dauda, number 6, 7, Anyasobola wow, nothing's removed. But exciting show era we're happy for Dauda. Era nja kusaba nyo bafani na Jemoli msajja afe emotoka ya muchankalanyeko tuyinogizaawo tukole ngabe twakola loli tukwatemu emotoka tugizeewo.
Yeah, that producer Dauda retired in Masaka due to engine failure. Dauda, what are some of the challenges those sons of Moroccan ever since you did that upgrade up to now? Because now the engine failure definitely automatically calls for another engine.
Yeah, it's a motoka sijagamanti na challenge je najaji funamu it's spares okuba nti tezirabika wano ewaffe. Ebisinga kuba punctures zibira gitegereka ze nagagifunamu actually yeidye nefilmu okenesoza. Other than that sina challenge nagifunyemu era mbadde nsobola omwaka guno nti nja kubeerako nnyo ku championship okuleka ebigo bitalaze nga byatuuseko Masaka nti nefa mu stage esooka nga tetunakunyumirwamu kangambe bwenti kubanzi waffe ebiseera ebisinga kunyumirwa kusooka then position nejja oluvannyuma naye nga emotoka nga y'emotoka nungi era neyongera ojjagala nti kuba wakuvuganya kuba twegomba za R5 zipoto ne ku lunaku olulungi ng'olina spare parts ng'olina spare akumala okumitinga esobola okumpa kyensuubira ate nga kyensuubira ye championship of course era nga okutwalizaamu safandoza tetatutudde njwala nnyo tuli mu kyakutaano ku ngulu y'eggwanga tusuubira nti of course abantu babadze era twakola li mukulu wange jjo bwagambye so okubiddamu ne tusigala nga tuteekawo challenge ku championship y'omwaka guno.
Yeah, so how do you go about the issue of the engine? Because you have couple of weeks to the next event. The engine failure means the engine potea, so you have to get another engine.
Kituufu. Era tuli mu nteekateeka ne bafaanyi baffe na buli omukiisi yonna naabadde nga tukwatako ebbanga lyonna bajja on board tubeetaaga akadde kano kuba kyekigendero ky'emmotoka eno era kyetulimusa wano bajje batwasizeeko tulabe nga tusobola ku event ye Soroti tubiddemu ate kuba championship tukyasobola ogigoba budde tebunnagenda.
83 points we are in 177. That's is up is tubala is ekimezi 177 83 difference here
about 70 points.
17 plus 77 is what?
177. It's about 80 points.
80 points.
80 points. But you see,
between events,
5 more events to go. Every event has.
While losing a margin of 70 plus in just one event, in the next couple of events, if he scores good, he reduces that margin, which means at the end of the day, there is a chance of to championship deciders. we have more than 2 crews
vying for the championship.
vying for the championship. And this time I pray sajja otajjamu handbrake naye atuuke kaawo.
Alwa.
Eh?
The performance you had in Masaka, did you just Zakonga? In Masaka, if we had won the first stage, end of the stages, that would be the end for us. That would be trying to pass it over. There was even talk, Aaron was in service park, Mawandarim service park. After our performance in the first loop, after 2 stages, we thought of retiring.
But the truth is, you are impressive. Nek kasaba nga twawangula stage, not awangula rally. You are still missing some performance elements.
Yeah, because the car, as usual, the car, not as usual.
Brakes,
Power steering. Power was okay. The engine was okay. Unfortunately for DAUDA, but the gearbox, yeah, we had issues, but. Fortunately, went through. But challenge went no biogera, but no one you always. But so, what could be the cost of the engine, and could people not need to know the and maybe other parts because I think you don't still wait again in your car.
Still for now, engine is because engine okay, roughly 2 million avidi engine okay motoka. So umuntu nesa tukwasizako tumwaniriza program tusigala tutekawe okuvuganya ku championship y'omwaka guno.
There is not tumanyi engine za fenti engine yakubye siba tina Bashiri senior kwata muko nonya piece main oba se just indika Kenya wa James oba and don't planning akole we just need to get another engine.
Engine no nese beyond that
it's beyond overhaul.
Yes kaende kyokubiri nti sawa zino tuli sajja bobukere tabagobeka na engine ya Bashiri era mulyo gwenje okulinnya njaba sigwesiga naye tuna option ero ya kufuna engine complete tujiteke mu bukolokolo tusigale nga tuli nyomule gutwesiga
Bashiri bato mwesiga fe nga tukwasi yakwata mu
Bashiri lisigwesiga n'ebyumu boli Bashiri mwesiga olwensonga tubadde naye mu Evo 6 agikoze emirundi 3 ebbaga n'etambula
what I mean is singa Bashiri agamba nti tufune endala nga maybe tekitose tuni yakwata mu ya 8 yakoze obudde Masaka
Haji Katete tukubira omulanga munyeto katoto tukubira omulanga tukwatire kaawo Dauda akomewo atakubakube omanyi
yeah Dauda I see one of the forums the drivers are there I see W.I.D rally team fans really make contributions towards the event. Then I think in there you get also sponsors here and there. How far have you gone with that effort?
So far twageza kupushinga tuna million 5 sawa zino tugenda osinzira kukyazimba mpola nanga bogambye fans so tukwazako tubaniriza on board tugeze ko pushinga ola bantu funa engine ombudo obutuufu kuba ibanga iliwe sawa zino ditono bonna bali kufora mwezi zaffe kwemuli kimanyi tuli wamu nammwe mujje mutukwasizeeko tulenga tusobola okubeera mu event esoloti neziddako.
Okay, then that's Dauda looking for you guys in Mokwatireko, and it's always better we have all guys. So I missed Varel in Masaka, I missed Dauda in Masaka, I missed who else didn't compete? In that wondrous performance of the Evo 8.
By the way, at the moment, when I love anti atemu group N category, atemu muli vibe njo chigamba wenda because ezile motoka sele singa ziba zisobira chisolo kola ni ate group N toyanza kugamba nti we were 100% yagendo kola yagendo kwa.
Yeah, let's talk about the event in Masaka just in the recent past. We've talked about Kuala and Mbale before here. Even in Masaka we reviewed last week. But if you look at the stage times, the times there were 7 stages reserved. Duncan Yawangulamu stages in here. You won the first 2 stages, Segam 14 on Friday, the first group and second. Then Alwi, Nawangula super special stage, combined LNB, Vazigatarumu. What a charity which we need to achieve with the drivers briefing was the COC Atugamanti. We were meant to drive 4 runs.
4 runs, yes.
run A, run B, run C, run D.
Yes.
Nega gamba wokoleramu ND, wokola mu DNF.
In any of the
in
runs.
any ofuna 5 minutes.
Yes.
So in other words, the question was, even if newe envaamu, newe sivuga kasaabu, I get the total time,
minutes, yes.
that's 5 minutes. There was, okay, I thought you would give run A, run B, that is one run, run C, run D, another run. And that was clear with the bulletin. So Ari won that. Sebuguzi posted, Ari yakola 339, 349. Sebuguzi 350, Kasime 351. Then if you jump day 2, according to the times as Afurumwa, Segam won that stage, 1602.
Soka.
The 33 Roma Motors, 33 kilometers, 1602. Alwi posted the second best time, 1635. Then Kasime nakola 1647. Duncan yana 1809. After incident, Yasanga Mustafa and Yasanga Mustafa, then Sebuguzi Namsan. Sebuguzi setwabufuna because atiti yamala korali, so his time was not considered. But I think Duncan bamutemako 3 minutes and 3 minutes kubuddewe. Kubanga initially Alwi yali amupe 5 minutes and 7 seconds more stage. So namaliza yakoze 1809. That was his time. So tugenda mu CS stage eyokubiri ya 12 kilometers, Duncan nagiwangula, which was the first loop of the power stage. Tugenda mu loop ya 20 kilometers, Alwi nagiwangula because Ali won 2 stages. The super special stage ne ya 20. Tujja mu power stage, Duncan nagiwangula 6:35. Alwi 7:10, Kasime 7:14. Those are the times. But looking at the performance then of course much talk about the proto Sebuguzi, unfortunately Yavam Lumala had issues, shock absorbers. Yakola 8:56 mu power stage. Tugenda mu power stage ngakola mbede kataza 47 seconds. Kataza ya mujira yao because of time jata akola bulungi mu power stage. The protos
issues.
Yena issue the shock absorber. I think Yagama he broke 3 shock absorbers in the rally. Protos and the group ends the performance.
It's interesting. Waliwo video Lumala Generava bayogera especially after the viral rally. Era yagamba interview nti yatekamu shocks dampers empya from viral rally. Ti agana kuvuga ko I think the first stage nekutuka. So naloza nti perhaps the dampers didn't do a good job. But it cost him the next 2 stages. Nagena mu service nachusa natekamu endala. Then he managed to improve and get that level. So if you had the same issue, sinaba kumanya if it is the same dampers he used in terms of suspension. Chiba kitegeza nti probably the settings as shock suspensions ezo over the whole fitting did not match properly what they
avuga Samsonas naye ku transport ngajja mu power stage from the service. That's when we are kutuliyeyo kusatu.
And kati wazanti lwachi kutuka. It is they're designed to handle all the stress that it goes through to a certain degree. Kati ejikutu chiba kitegeza nti waliwo stress zitasobola handling. So it might be an issue with that particular damper. But so far protos badeziraze nti the advantage expected of them they chikola. But for us now, we can't determine whether it is the car or the driver because the drivers abazivuga they're already very fast from the word go. Nemo group ends balibavuga they're already very fast. So they have got slightly better cars. They are still fast. The issue would be to determine the gap jakuba our group N kati. Is it the same as before or will it choose same? Then we'll have any competition between the protos themselves. You have Kwanza Protos and Segabo Mutekamo with this N5. So you have the Segabo, you have Ronald Sebuguzi, you have Duncan, you have Alwi, you have Ronald Sebuguzi. In that mix, what is their timing against each other? It is so up and down that it becomes very inconsistent to tell whether it is the car or the driver. Exactly. Then also in terms of engineering, Lumala is a very good engineer on the car. So is Sebuguzi. But what goes wrong is maybe a motor or like what happened to Sebuguzi. It was a bit of as Aaron described it for me, he did a slow into swamp. But how he got there is the question.
It was the left thing of the car in swamp.
Was it in Yafuna rest line and charm necessarily go any of those things you can ask. But so far it is, I cannot tell for a good reason to go there. So I'm using a bad example. Time Jemwakola at your peak.
Yeah? So it was very peak. Very peak. Can you get the issue? Zero DAUDA. Okay. So
time Jemwakola compared to what the Protos were doing is not so far apart.
Yeah.
Now
because we lost 35 seconds to Duncan in the first stage. And then we lost 25 seconds to Duncan in the second stage.
You would think a Proto is supposed to be competing with the R5.
Yeah.
So if the margin between the Proto and the Group N is just this small, then you start wondering whether that was worth it. So I'm beginning to think maybe the drivers have gotten a little bit complacent in two things. One, competition jebavuganya nayo ne mukupalinga motoka. Kabashtegeza mbajja kwetagayo engome nene to be in the mix to up their game. For example, if Mangat checked in, then it will force them to up their game.
Yeah.
If Yasinas are checked in, to force them to up the game. They were really pushing because there were cars that were expected to be much better. But you get a bit easier. Maybe one stage you got so that is my take. But the more you people try to match up to them, the more exciting.
Or was it the more they try to match up to us?
Whichever.
Yes, DAUDA. Producer Katina, 3 minutes left. The championship levels kati imotoka yo iwote inokuba you must dine with our Proto watula one. Utula twaine restaurant Masaka ne Joshua Mwanguzi. Natwaga mu accommodating awatula nga yamaiza atudeliye kai.
Proto ne Group N. Abantu awo era gajjo bagambye ku drive omulungi ne motoka ngeteketekeddwa bulungi babeera within range. However, Proto ina advantage nyingi ku Group N because baina sequential gearbox, baina less weight, baina braking system ennungi. Naye era still yonosobeera nabyo naye gwe driver at the end of the day okola kinene. So nze ngamba nkyalinamu okukkiriza nti Group N yange ivote nga bweri bebanga na package emala nti manyi nsobola committing still siyinza kubeera wala ku Proto because nyandigambye nti R5 ate ye yandibadde walako cause era no Proto bwogigegeza ne R5 olaba era ng'enjawulo nnene weeri naye kati fe aba Group N sijja kwemalamu maanyi mbakakasa nti era mbagamba nti Proto tusobola ozzikuba naddala nga weteeseteeza bulungi n'emmotoka nga nnungi.
Okay, we still have 5 more rounds to go. Every round has 60 points. 5 times 6 is 300. So the points is really up for grabs. DAUDA 83, Ali 177. 5 more rounds to go. Let's hope things shift out. Okay, DAUDA, one more last appeal to the fans.
Ntwala omukisa guno okusaba badriver bannange abawagizi b'omuzannyo gwa motorsport si nti wagira munaana yokka wagira kisodde naye buli omu yenna abasobola tukwasizaako ajja tukwasizeeko kuba at the end of the day guno muzannyo era fina tugunyumirwa naye oyo gwowagira oba otayinza kuvuganya nga ali yekka so era nga bwe twakikola ku mulundi guli kubeera twali ffenna ntwala omukisa guno bayita mwenna mujje mutukwasizeeko tulaye nga tukomawo era IVORY terina kiruma okuleka engine tuddemu ate tukwatagane mu event y'esoroti
naye agali mu nkubo galaga nti co-driver ayina offer eri ku mmeeza wagawuliddeko
sinne waggawulirako
nze ngakuwadde mukubira essimu ng'ovudde mu show naye ke balabe nga engine ebivudde mulaga wawaayi wano wayinza okuba alamuza munaana. Okay, that has been Umar DAUDA. We're going for a short commercial break. By the Mukwateko financially, we get the Soroti and any support will definitely be out there. So I'm reaching out to him as well. Abataina number here, I can as well avail it. Or one the manager who know wadi. Kale, we're going for a short commercial break. Come on, everyone will join us. Talk about the what is making news in the world of motorsport. Twalabe FIA akkiriza okwata constitution yayo nejjawo term limits by 90% vote. So Bin Sulaim akomawo inshallah katukomewo. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium to be back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review all the latest in the world of motorsports. FUFA TV, of course, 102.1 for famos okubanga zilaba ona osinzira okubanga oli using the FUFA media app, just okubanga downloading on Play Store yo, App Store yo. You definitely be able to watch FUFA TV over no kuliza 102.1 for Farmers Ekesh. Nina Joe Brewer, ne tugatwa ko Aaron Samba, who is a president Fachu Salo third president Asmoku. President Asmoku.
Kateke Mufuru. Association
of Motorsport Co-Drivers of Uganda.
Nyine muwoju.
Okay. Pozi tamu ya muyabanga.
Tamu ya myaka ebiri.
Alenze kimu kubyasinzo okugire
genda mingi.
Jo ono tana tabi yakayingira. Yakwede proposals to the amendments of the constitution. Association. No to kwade kujo tamu. That's a very far the membership fee. Eronuza watu wanabatuliza.
Abatulaba mwena ku FUFA TV n'abatuliza ku 102.1 FUFA FM. Dobozi n'essanyu lingi nnyo ngali Aaron Nsamba. Tusanyuka nnyo nnyo tufisa wakade tujja ntugere kuzanyo tusinga okwagala nga afuga motoka z'empaka. Twebaza mwenna abawayo obudde bwammwe, abawayo data wammwe, abawayo ebiseera byammwe ne mutuuliriza nga bujjo bwetero kyogera nti si fa abasinga okumanya emmotoka z'empaka oba ebikwata ku mmotoka z'empaka naye muwaayo obudde bwammwe ne mutuuliriza ekyo tetukitwala lightly tutwebaza yatwebaliza ddala nnyo. Sirema kwa kusanyukira wamu nammwe abafunye ebirungi mu wiiki gye tukubya amabega naye ate era nakuwalira wamu nammwe abafunye ebizibu mu wiiki gye tukubya amabega. Mukama abagumye yawa era yajjawo.
Ndoza producer already denga njogera kucha Aaron suggesting amendments to the constitution.
Nataka yeta bin Selemani.
Na chusira oda ngondia Aaron. Aaron Nsamba member UMA. Okay,
President Teresa chintu
live. Producer so tu aku FIA news kati tunamda minde video of course the remove of the time limits. No kubant Ivory Coast could be on the verge of getting back on the
ARS.
Yeah, producer so tu aku kubya FIA, that is the FIA has officially approved the removal of presidential term limits with over 90% support.
Ben Sulaiman anasingika nga buli adi ajaleta
banga mweno tamu yabadde yalano opposite. Mweno tamu
yes. Kati huyo alese term limits removal. Tegeza tamu eddako wayimirira. Teri tekali mkono. Kulindo za tamu yabadde ya tamu myaka ebiri. Tamu zibiri bajintodi bona bafuna myaka ebiri ye azena term limits ziwedde kulukajo kankubuze kubanga akoze nnyo tibamuwadde liberty okujjawo time limits zino kubanga sikiwanti osobola proposing ekintu bwe kityo nga obadde ograsinga mu byokola ne bakuwa term ne bakuwa gundi eyo.
There are two things. One, gwe atilese baba ina track record enungi of up to that point in time. I think chiba kitegeza nti boteesa nabo oba kuwa that power
bakukirizamu. Yes.
It becomes easier for them to believe what you're saying and maybe you're making sense because over there or making a sense. By the second time, naturally kisinzira ku delegates abaliwo. How have you influenced them to buy that idea? Kati nobalam, is it an issue of did it make sense to them or they just didn't care? It doesn't really matter who's done it. Wendi ngina kubeerawo oba byetufunamu ngina kubeerawo and so far no harm done, so it makes no difference.
Doza aina kyakoze kinene nnyo ndoza block vote ya Africa ajuwangudde nnyo ba fact nti yarwana nnyo era sokomawo ku kalenda wa Africa continent and those Africa najuwangula nebirala bingi nnyo byakoze okutuwa AGM e Rwanda okitege ebintu ngebyo olaba programs zalese mu Africa FIA University abasomye bonna olaba nti improvements zaze akola mu motorsport ate nga jukira ndoza Africa yesinga yemu kubasinga ba members abadde balonda abamu abadde swing vote dulindi katomanyiwe bajagwa ngobeera awo notomanya Uganda egenda kulonda ani at the end of the day oba agenda kulonda ani naye kati ndowooza byonna birabijja bitegeevu nti Ben Sulaiman tuve eno nga bonna bunamanyi nti
So the statement says the International Automobile Federation FIA overwhelmingly approved the proposal to abolish presidential term limits passed by a super majority of over 90% at the Extraordinary General Assembly in Mako. The changes eliminates the previous cap of 3 4-year terms. 3
terms obali ojja kusobola okujja ku term emirundi esatu naye nga buli term ya myaka ena.
That's why I remember John told since 2012.
Yes, for the 3 terms. The removal of this rule directly impacts the current president, Mohammed bin Sulaiman, allowing him to theoretically remain in power indefinitely, though a separate age limit of 70 years remains. Here the takeaways for the Macau votes. The statute was to abolish the cap of 3-year term, abolishing a consistent approach to leadership across all FIA bodies. The statute was updated to abolish the cap of 3 4-year terms, establishing a consistent approach to leadership across all major FIA bodies. So the question is, does it have a trickle-down effect in Wafe? We watch the space. Candidate requirements alongside term limits, the FIA tightened eligibility criteria for presidential candidates, requiring prospective leaders to demonstrate sustainable prior experience with FIA bodies. Current status, Mohammed bin Sulaiman, who took office in 2021, is currently serving his second term after running unopposed in 2025. The age constraints, the existing rule barring candidates of over 70 years from seeking the presidency remains in place. Bin Sulaiman 64, would hit the ceiling during a potential fourth term in office.
So he has been there since 2024.
Since 2020.
2021.
No, but this time when you are 24.
Yes.
So
2025.
No, 2025.
25. So he has so far done 1 year.
1 year.
So
Ali 64.
He's 64. So he's being elected again in 2028. So actually, he will be 68. 68. He will still be under by 2 years.
2 years.
So he still qualifies to be elected for a third term. Nanga he cannot stand for a fourth term.
No.
Now, change agarako chiriwa chiti. Ngaba kugambye consistency across leadership consistency across major FIA bodies, bodies, not FIA members. Bodies.
All about Kamzi.
Wagulu eyo. Nenga mu members ne wafu
Kati tuyinza okutandikira ku bodies nga Kamzi, nga Europe, bichi. And then the Kamzi also comes down to enforce it on its members.
At the FIA statute, Boba Kugambye at FIA bodies, it is not a trickle-down effect. Because Waliko leadership, let's have some, it makes sense. Let's have consistency. But consistency only valid nga only productive. Wangera bo no toka o no kola majani.
Baja kusenda.
Baja kusubira nenda chereka. This one is not good. So the thing change deco the qualities ezokusimba okubeera
wali waggulu
ndabanga mpudde nga zebongeddemuko. You really must have some sort of
one maybe to one for us our sporting federations zali I think moving with the 2014 bonde zali at the NCS level changes zali mu the sporting administrations. It was challenging every sporting federation even a leadership of 4 years because previously you could have twaina leadership of 2 years. That's why you had the Jack serving at 2 years. I think Dusu Manoki was the first president.
Call 4 years.
Call 4 years. So Katindoza across the entire country, all sporting disciplines, leadership years, 4 years. So one attached into you serve 3 terms, you had 3 terms, with cap it were 70 years, and you finish. But of course, let's hope for the best. And don't know Gamanti, batch because those are good faith because. Then Yalibadoga and Yachkola Mutamu Yesembayo, so that he can still remain in power. Because even just in his second term, he's 1 year old in this second term. That's when you have changed. But I think he's really performed, and let's hope he are bringing a lots and lots more.
Yeah. Jatulaze nti Africa ajagala bingi Africa kyetulina okufuna mu motorsport. Tukyalina okulwana okufuna F1 ekonomiko ku Africa. So ebintu ebyo nabyo ngenda mbiraba cutting eneneko ngenda mbiraba ate ngeri gyalaze nti ayagala Africa. Maybe at the end of the day, at the end of his third term, tunaba tumaze okufuna a championship event.
So what this means, Joe Chabadanyonyola, alaganti, if so, is 64. Is just
one year
into second year Yokobi. No, so I'm second year. Term
Yokobi.
So term Yokobi, how old?
67.
67,
right? 67.
67.
So term ya myaka ena, right? So ajakuwa sima ku term eyokusatu ngali 67. Kibachi agenda kuweza kumala ko term eyokusatu ngali 71. So in other words, you can kibachi obanga ganti omuntu asokwesima ngali 68.
Yes, I've asked why he's below 70.
He's not 70.
Asara kwesima ngali 69.
Yes,
he's below 70.
You'll be 70.
Ne term ne musanga ali
network take is that automatically there must be another president coming. After
tobate kidamu kugamba nti anaddamu okwesima kubanga oba otuse cap eya 70.
So cap ya 70 yakwesimbawo.
Yakwesimbawo.
Ewe kusanga ng'olimu.
Nga mwoli olina okumalako.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okuja kwongera azzamu n'agikwata.
Ajo cap. Yasiga kikozerumo. Era kayimero kayina.
Kayimero. Ndokta kabule tukwata mukonga papa. Twali tusaba oyongera okukwatamu.
Nolekayo some of those aspects.
Checks and balances.
I don't more importantly, no yongeramu some qualifications. Where we always make a mistake locally is we remove, then we leave everything at the same level. Kati wonge them qualifications, nachagala nnyo and todia yachogerako. Nti why do we call it a world event? Nga mu continent ezimu tezitetuukayo. Kane Jessica, he toured Africa a bit here and then he did have an impact. Ben yebo yajja yatandikira. He might put so much pressure on it. Fortunately, we managed to get WRC. He insisted on it. He actually one time a government. I wish he could have more than one WRC event in Africa. We're getting a push in this one direction. Unfortunately, we also fell short of the standard of maintaining a WRC event in Africa. So we're really trying to convince ourselves that no, we can actually make it.
And what we calendar FIA disciplines avaina. Very many of them, cutting, the Supercross, now the WRC, the F1, Africa. Although those disciplines only has one, which is the World Rally Championship. I think we know other disciplines, cutting all about it. Of course, you have the Dakar.
In our African nations, Ngojeko, Kenya. Where else do you hear of rallycross? Kenya.
South Africa, maybe.
This South Africa, if you follow their motorsport so much, motocross will be mine. It's at top notch. I think in the African continent, it's the Bebaina, the highest top notch, if you to say that in motocross. Then other countries, even then, Africa has how many countries? So
I don't know. I sort of want to disagree that South Africa, China top notch in rallying. We can actually break it down and see what what sort of rallying. In motocross, yes. In motocross, both they are both batching. Now when we come to rallying itself, in terms of special stage rallying, at least somehow, but did
yeah, because for them, okay, this year they have six rounds on the championship, which one was cancelled. But for them, their national is not as
vibrant as a region.
Their national, even when you had Chembewano during the Christmas period, you are going to national, regional, because competing on the national is Anam and a leg.
It's very expensive.
Very expensive.
So you focus in your
region. Which again, to me, if you not why do you?
Why bother?
But of course, but the levels of competition Apex
Because
of course no kujja mu kwayo okulala okuvaako Sasol n'ebirala maybe because kati focus titwaji shifting nnyo
kwa ARC yavaayo
ARC yavaayo
kati interestingly kwa twafunanga nnyo information about rallying in South Africa kati nga bwogambye I'd even thought it had stopped never ngamambo there's region I'm actually going to look for the regional rallies and follow them wakati ate kyendaba ekivayo ennyo is rally raid where there's very big four-wheel drive vehicles
it's one of those vibrant in fact we're going to X-handle yawe Motorsport South Africa Motorsport SA that is the X-handle olaba yaddala nti they always keep you up to speed the regional and the national yawe yo ogirabikirako it's another
olaba bazaayo Leroy ng'avudde Kenya agenze South Africa noga tatante national toliyo soko ogende mu regional proving guys abadde multiple champion in Kenya ati papa tulekeemu
okay then before we go in for break the other news nti mukulu after the approval of the remove the term limits the ARC rally tried to get the rally bandama producer so tukifanya hicho nga president wa FIA bin Sulaim aline president wa FISA FMU yeri ya Ivory Coast omukulu Alhaji Fofana of course the statement says high level meeting shaping the future of Ivorian motorsport on Tuesday 23rd 2026 the FISA president Alhaji Fofana was received by FIA president Mohamed bin Sulaim at the heart of this intense half-hour discussion. Côte d'Ivoire has major comeback to the African Rally Championship starting in 2027. A historical promising meeting marking a decisive turning point for the development and profile of the national motocross scene. History is in the making. Hashtag motorsport, and of course hashtag FISA and FIA Côte d'Ivoire. Yeah, now this year in around senior. Uganda, which was Kenya was the first. Uganda second, third Rwanda, 10th back 13th, then Tanzania. You're done. So with the return of
Burundi, Chagitabuka Kondoza.
Though I was asking Adoni recently why initially had to gamba 14th back 16th when I asked him ARC Rio de Burundi. Nagamba, I think that was initially the plan, but there could have been changes. So they hope to get back next year. So if Ivory Coast returns, Burundi Nekomo next year, we'll have 6 events or so. And
but see, unfortunately,
though again going to Ivory Coast is a registered nightmare. Rob says Yangamba agenda yo yatambula okuva wano paka Addis, of course the Ethiopia, Addis na Dubai, France, France connected I think to Morocco. Then Morocco then they connect to ate even right away it was even was Yangambu Edam na allow travels why not tamble. Na kasoka sigaliyo dali akabenda ne inarasia ayo mga inarasia ko ngiri miezi esatu n'abanzi Kampala
man connections zizo kujama
in Africa by the way it is we don't have direct flights to
areas.
I used to be very surprised Mugenda in one of those West African countries. Katugomani to Mugenda, Musimba, Mukasanga, you're now in Southern Africa. Not in Bankola Yochi.
The thing of
West, nothing was so South Africa. It's very, very complicated. The only issue is the last 2 years, even Rwanda, ARC has been haphazard, one way or the other. By an advantage by investing in cocoa and they get a lot of boost from Ugandan competitors and Kenyan competitors. So it makes it a bit exciting. Katwanda Burundi webechi vudemu chibachi them East Africa. Ugandans when they bali more adventurous mukutambula in this participating in events around this region. Kenyans usually baganyo kubera mugoni when they are fighting for the championship. So Gundia ARC introduced Nigeria Rwanda in some competitors who are missing on the list that we thought should be on that list. Ivory Coast Okuja, yes, it increases the number, but it won't increase the participation. Because unfortunately, Raja Kwesang, it will still remain a national event for them. Very unlikely that somebody will shift from East Africa to go. If we already are active.
The last time Ivory Coast were running at the ARC should have been in 2022. kubanga Gomez yagendayo Gary Change namo with I think he hired
Evo
the Evo 9 navuga, so those points he picked in Ivory Coast kept it again, so he kept on accumulating them nezimuyambako kuwangula the championship. Though at KP but it was that year was a very hard year for him because never yajja wano abajjukira obulungi yava mu stage ya kivuvu that rally which was
now genda okuvugamu
that rally which was won by Mangat, so kati Gomez made the most out of that plus the other rally kubanga the rally I think was second behind Mangat second behind Mangat kepi yajja ku day 2 ngali ku catch up of course ali wala nnyo tugende Rwanda Gomez n'akimalireyo he became second ngate tukeri nga yo patero kuangula championship Gomez alina kuvamu lots of permutation but finally Gomez n'akisiri nga ne mchallenge Gomez. I think that's a record. The only couple, man and woman, lady
husband and wife
to win. It's okuba lady man and woman nate ne ojeko nawe siza ku couple okubanga bawininga the ARC. So those are return of Ivory Coast good for the African championship
tugezaako okukomyawo ko competition mu African Rally Championship ebadde efa buli lunaku oluyitawo ebadde yeyongera okukendeera amaanyi and those abatutwala wano ndooza Joe, we've had arguments about debates how to improve the ARC circuit, the revival of ARC, because we used to have dropouts, host dropouts nga zeyongera bikanako Madagascar yavako, South Africa nevako, Zambia egenze, Mozambique manya na Ivory Coast evuddeko, twalina zinamibia ntara tikyaliyo okitegeera. But remember mu nsi zino zonna zetwali tuyitangamu nga mulimu competition evaayo nga ddala nga nnungi. Ate remember ebiseera ebyo nga tukozesa nti emiroke zasikowaringanga nga kugamba nga osangayo akasajja nga kali eyo Rwanda oba kaliwa nga kagulinnyo omuliro gwako nga gwolina kulwana kugenda kajjayo naye tekasobola. So olaba na competition yali y'amaanyi ebiseera ebyo olw'okuba motoka ensi nyingi zetwayitangamu zibadde zikendedde tuye mu nsi nnya zokka championship ennaku ey'ensennya ng'olaba dalinga ng'eweddemu amaanyi
nerali neddamu ne bayanaku
2 yanaku 2 kulinga lali bayanaku 3 nga eba kufiirawo
for the championship tuba twogerako nnyo how it can recover revive even the guys we call for who are not in Uganda nobabuuza there's time twakyaza no Muna Singh Junior nga tumbuuza best the ARC can nagana nawo kati okuvaako kwabwe nti yo aba akuwa remedy kwekyo aba asooka they must get back onto the calendar. All right, we go in for a short commercial break. Come out to get the WRC which was in Greece, won by Seb Ogier, as well to get F1 which was won by George Grasso, and of course Mercedes are doing wonders. First, the best position for Max this year so far, being second in the last event. Come out. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break into our last segment of today's show, which happens every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review all the latest in the world of motorsport. Of course, the World Cup through host nations, USA, Mexico, and Canada, with so far, of course, round of 32. Africa, then countries Mwenda, Tunisia, qualifying from the group stages. Nalawa some players in Africa, slots to come but of course, round. It's only Tunisia qualifies from the group stages. Yaso sova kondo the South Africa. Canada yamukuye 1-0. Yaso mpira gwakagwe mabegako. Brazil ekutudde Japan 2-1. So that and more. Course radio games ezo zibera. Kokale. Police aga tugendeko mu the ARC the African Rally Championship round 3. Round 1 yali Kenya, which was the ARC round 1, ngekolanga WRC round 3, ARC round 1, KNRC 1, round 2 yali Uganda, part of Africa, yali NRC 2, ARC 2. So round 3 of the African Rally Championship, a on card from the 10th to the 13th of May 2020. Sorry, 10th to the 13th of July 2020. Producer Gituwadde, of course, we'll build up on that event. Should be next week, God willing. But ARC now in Motokandoza ziri 5. ARC. More than, okay. Queen Kalimpinya, Susan Mwonge. So
Gatimu Tinasha.
Gatimu Tinashe.
Queen Kalimpinya aline.
Queen Kalimpinya.
Aline Olivia Mugabo.
Akomyewo ne Mugabo ku luno.
Subaru Impreza. That's the GVB.
That's the GVB senior.
Yes, GVB senior.
That's the GVB senior, most probably. Kuzako.
Yeah, Susan Mwonge.
Susanna akomyewo.
Sansubuga.
Yeah, good to see
Susanna Mwonge, good to see.
One was scoring for ARC2, but this is our first event.
Yeah.
In the ARC2 this year.
Aine Musansubuga. Crew number 3 103 Gatimu Tinasha ne Gatimu Caroline, those are mama ne muwalawe
na Musafari bali Ford Fiesta.
Then Liza Christopherson ne Mwanji Christabel Subaru Impreza, Yasin Nasa ne Ali Katumba from Uganda Ford Fiesta. Tuina Nikel Shakania ne Patel Deep Ford Fiesta. Akif Virani ne Zahir Shah Ford Skoda Skoda Fabia. Karan Patel ne Tausef Khan Skoda Fabia. Hamed Huel ne Solanki Rohet Toyota Yaris GR. Huel ali ne Solanki Rohet. Osla si aliko.
Solanki gwe yavuga naye mu event yawangude yabadde iringa
Ndoza.
Mukwa warale.
Okay. Then waliwo Bildi Manville ne Manmit Bildi abo ba Uganda nabo Skoda Fabia R5. Yeno yali yavora.
Yavora yasoko vuga mwana.
Yasembe vuga wana.
Yasembe vuga wana.
Zombi era muroka yemu yasoko vuga wana. Muroka yemu UBK. Uganda number plates ya UBK. Ya UB yali ya Rajbil. Yali ya Aman Raj Rai, yes. Ina registration ya Uganda. And then tuina Oscar Ntambi ne
pass. Vora yavuza no mupala.
Yemoka Manmit yavuze. Yes. Yes, yeah,
that means Vora should be
upgrading to a new
version.
Yes. Okay. Oscar Ntambi ne pass to James Bishop Evolution X. Jasmine Chana ne Ravi Chana Ford Fiesta.
Uganda.
Yeah, Christine.
Ani mukuru.
Siza kulimba birth certificate sizirabangako. Christian Kananjure ne Mujiji Kevin Subaru Impreza, very quick crew by the way. Very by no kujja Uganda ne batajja. Pulgiria
bavuga safari.
Yeah, Pulgiria Neven ne Sharif Musa Ford Fiesta. Bajja malibu mupalo Ford Fiesta R3. Yes. Very good performance by the Mopal. They maintained the third up to day 2. Paka bafune ebizibu ebyo nga bebo kusatu. Yes.
Overall.
Yes. Niveni yali ngolaba day 2 start order ya day 2. Niveni nga atandika number 3 on the road. Yes. Yali number 3 then Gundi. Then Roshana Muhammad ne Bigirimana Christophe Subaru Impreza bavude Burundi. Bano ba onemoroke yagwa Uganda mu shakedown. Yes, so abujukira shakedown erukali GVB omwami yali avuge motoka eyo ya limwe eyo. Then tuina Gakwaya Claude ne Magabo Claude Subaru Impreza nabo ba Uganda abo. By the ba Uganda ne Eric Gakwaya ne Christian Gakwaya. That's the Gakwaya family. Now by Huye, the old organizers aba Huye rally.
Christian Gakwaya
you president Warak. Eric Gakwaya ye COC wa rally eno. Magabo then Gakwaya Cloud.
Eric Gakwaya Jean Cloud ye muvuzi. Ye president
bona be Jean Cloud Gakwaya omu Mugabo.
Inala mu event bona mwebali.
Waluna abata waluwa abato. Then Godfrey Nserekwa on Godfrey Nserekwa ne John Bosco Musisi Toyota Etios je bali nabo eyo list ya abantu 17 ya ARC
Paz Mulemba na Uganda bameka
eyo ARC
na Uganda bali mu
Nsereko
Ntambi Susan yeah.
Anti naye kati yo list ya ARC yokka.
No, for the ARC. Yeah, for the ARC.
ARC bali mu bebo number nga
3.
Oh. 1 2 3
No, 4.
4.
Ngeri kuliko ni asili na sasa.
Ne Susan Mwonge wakuna, yes. So a list ya ARC abasikowalinga ku African Rally Championship. Niye tuina ne list ya national. Na list ya national.
This event has 6 Kenyan crews.
Yeah, 6 Kenyan crews. Led by Karan Vate. Okay. Someone brought him, I think, because of that.
Ku national list kuliko Giancarlo Davite ne Ishieja Sadrini bavude Rwanda Mitsubishi Evolution X. Kuliko Nasa Mutebi ne Emmanuel Mugulusi Mitsubishi Evolution 9 bavude Uganda. Kuliko Valerie Bukera ne Nitel Ketia bavude Burundi. Kuliko Nwagaba Odion ne Hussein Mukuye Toyota Altiza bavude Uganda. Kuliko Hinga Muchin Michuki ne Ngugi John Toyota Ranix bavude Kenya. Kuliko Ibrahim Lubega Pasua ne Mustafa Kanakulia Toyota Corolla bavude Uganda. Tuina Kwizera Claude ne Kaibanda Aurela.
Ayamo Paul Charlie the other round.
Subaru
Osomye Pasua ne Kanakulia.
Batu siza kuruno.
Paul Charlie Kanakulia.
Kanakulia
Kanakulia yali avuga.
Kanakulia yali avuga. Pasua nasoma. Lero Pasua yagusi
Kanakulia yagamba. Jonzi musomera.
Nga bita byangu.
Nga bita byangu. Ate yabinsomedde. Emuzibolako. They even dropped out by the way.
Kulina Kaira Faizo ne Serukuma Ivan Subaru Impreza bavude Uganda. Kulina Isaac Sozi ne Rukenge Jafar Subaru Impreza bavude Uganda. Kulina Nshuti Victor ne Tuishemi Regis bavuga Subaru Impreza bavude Rwanda. Banange Jean Chris ne Gahigi Iriela bavuga Subaru Impreza bavude Rwanda. Wairo Kaitankore Lionel ne Murenjezi Sean Subaru Impreza bavude Rwanda. Murenjezi Brian oli abade Murenjezi Lionel ono Murenjezi Brian ne Mpamo Miguel Subaru Impreza bavude Rwanda. Tuina Balonde Mugiribato ne Warujo Gilbert Toyota Corolla bavude Uganda. Tuina Petero Karole ne Mildred Chibuka Subaru Impreza bavude Uganda. Awadin Alim ne Ntibatenzi Cedric Subaru Impreza bavude Burundi. Azaz Deal ne Amin Alexandre Toyota Glanza bavude Burundi. Ndusimana Selveta ne Mugabo Jess Subaru Impreza bavude Rwanda. Ne Mwanguzi Joshua ne Hamza Rwanga Subaru Impreza bavude Uganda. Ye cruise abantu 19 ezegata 17 ye total entry list
ndiwe asatu mukaga
ya rally ye Rwanda.
Okay, so we'll definitely build up more on that event, more of the get people from Rwanda, probably get the CSC, Gakwaya to bully how the event will and host a couple of those drivers.
Actually, initial location ya rally ali mu northern province of Rwanda. Ne yachuse neddayo ku Nyamata. Nejo area yebade runningira yazeyo mu area eyo. So that is the other change. Nabade nsoma ku rally guide. Yeah, yachuse neddayo eri manga.
So the championship standings, Karan Patela na 83 points after 2 rounds.
Yep.
Saman Vora in 66, but of course Vora not taking part. So Akif Viran is third in 60 points. ARC Junior, Saman Vora 75, Samananja in 36, then Queen Kalimpinya, Ali Waka in 20. Yasin on the ARC, Yasin Mpali on the national he was third, right?
ARC.
On the ARC, the ARC
second, she's third.
overall.
Fourth? I don't remember very well.
The
Abasa Tubali, Karan, Vora, Oksatu Yaliani.
Karan Vora,
Akif yali okusatu. Yes. Sijjukira bulungi.
So then that's, but of course, we are saying if you look at the points, maybe it's one more round to
Safari yali wakutaano. Safari was 5th ARC. Tuzalitwa jana Uganda, either 4th or 5th ARC.
Okay, so we'll build more that event, which is upon us from the 10th to 13th of July. How many days left?
Week and plus.
About a week.
A week or so.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to the event, okay. Away from that, from the ARC, which is Rwanda hosting the third round, into the World Rally Championship over the weekend. Very, very excited about how the event unfolded. Oji yawangude rally yenkaga mu mwenda mu career ye. I think he's this year of the 14 inakola ko 10. So far, producer radically nga season nga tandika. We've done a couple of events. Still more to go, of course, but Estonia. That is July. I think that's soft gravel. Soft gravel. That should be the same weekend of the ARC. Yet to confirm on that regarding the dates. But Joe, the performance of Oji. First year, Oji won the by 58.3 seconds. 58.3 seconds. Now him does that milestone alone. I think he has records too. He's setting a target. 69th win, career win. He's surely done it.
Tujja kuwaleza Rob kubanga ndio deka.
Rob na yenzikira wali omno kati yakola yo one of the final kazi yakola ngekuliko. How many wins, how many starts, how many all in numbers. Yes.
Now you might, I don't know, tujja kulaba because I want to see if the number of wins Lob has should be a bit more than what Oji has. Or the other way around. I keep thinking Oji has more wins than Lob for some reason or the other. If you look at the RSW Nenga, the event here, but they're very exciting and unfortunate in very many ways. Nzengo mwagiziwa Evans, nale chimanyi nti day one it will be a very bad day. And so that hopefully whenever I losing about 45 seconds by end of Friday, he should be able to get a fairly good road position at Tandike on day two. He lost more than 45 seconds. It was a minute plus. Natandika day two ngali mu mid position now. Nenga era siye.
Beresa gamanti Loba ina 80. Yeah,
80.
So he's on the 11. Oji ali 11 short of Loeb. The question is
breakdown 39 on gravel, 24 wins on tarmac, mixed tarmac and gravel 7, then mixed tarmac and snow 7, then snow BD. So a total of 80.
That is for Loeb.
And stage wins 939.
So those are at least records are being set, and of course Oji is making a very good one. Wale yagamba yabuza babuza Martin says about Oji. I don't know how he does it.
Martin finishing the 8th overall.
In terms of Oji's age, I don't know how he does it, but he's so consistent and he's so calm in what he's doing. Then the battle with Terry Neville
that evening,
the entire rally from the entire rally was very interesting. Why when I did the Langa 1 and 2, Terry and Oji in a league of their own. Katsuta Nesanga very comfortable in third place. Everybody else has faltered. Kati Odren form evademu mixeyo. Nena framo buzibu. Na achivamu nga buchali. So he left those two to have a battle. So it was pretty exciting. Very unfortunate for Evans. He had apart from having a bad reputation on day one, he also had a bad day in office. Kat where he had woken up on day two Saturday afternoon, catching up, is when he got the worst luck anafuna ka flat tire ako ate ne kamdrop here kuba he was only 6 seconds away from getting 4th position, which will reduce the margin between him and Katsuta in terms of points. Kind of chimusula three positions away. So it really affected him. But event yo yabade very, very interesting. Nali ndudo kulaba ku gravel ali rough. Bwatyo. Era nabade mpuliza Mads Otsberg ne Bex nga bakola commentary. After Solberg got his first flat tire, section I saw say. But that should be okay. Everybody is going to get a dose of that throughout. But I was happy that Katsuta didn't suffer because he's usually the victim. Usually, Katsuta is the victim of this flat tires and things like that. Oje didn't have an issue. It very unfortunate time when we were from the flat tire. It ends in Sorida. If Terry had not got that flat tire, he would have won the event because he had. They were now responding to each other. So it was, I think they were going back to that stage where they're tied. And Terry had an advantage of 4 seconds. So that's flat tire.
You said Loeb has, he has 80 career wins.
80 career wins.
Stage wins in America?
939.
Oja ina 69 career wins. Producer gamba podiums ina 119. Loeba ina meka podiums.
Podiums, I don't, let me see.
Then stage wins ina 842.
800?
842 stage wins. Ulaina 900. Then of course Oja's first win came in Mexico 2008. His latest one, George Avada reviewing. Acropolis 2026.
But he deserved it. He put up a fight for it. He should not have won in the competition, any race. He deserves what he gets, especially if it's a very good result. So kudos to him. He's worked out with some pride. Fortunately, Evans is still leading the table by just 7 points. Unfortunately, it puts him again at a disadvantage in Estonia when we go back to joke soccer. For some reason, people like Oje who are limited
in appearances.
They were leading, and then the rest of you guys will have something to fight for Nemuji after that. But he's going to. Good thing is that the gravel of Estonia is not as rugged as this one. So we hope. Usually Evans, if he has a bad day weekend, one event, he wakes up. The next event of ours.
Driver wa Evans, what wa Joe. I narrowly wins coming up 48 podiums and 217 stage wins. That is
his average is very low.
Elfin Evans. Championship. Aaron, we keep talking about this. Producer lower third. Evans still leads the championship. The question is, can he go all the way? Because it's about amassing points. Takamoto has handicap nyo.
Then the
2 wins.
Events big.
And Thierry. And he not celebrating. He feels what Thierry feels. But Evans seems to be a bit consistent since the season did begin. When the season began, when we are talking about the blue, that was Solberg winning Monte Carlo. Having won Estonia the previous year, nga Toyota mwademu testing amtulabe na abikwa for Toyota negamba hiyo gendo bachapi
nadamu
nabikola kofi taba ku championship, but I think it was early days. Now he's a bit off the pace.
He's off the pace.
He's off the pace, and it's undoing. Omani na kuzimu webuzo right. He's undoing. Waru watu kanga concentration yetu labda antiriwo, and he does very very amateurish mistakes. Nenti manyi mwana mto, you get there one day one time with more time, with more sit time yafuna. Na Evansi no yogede kuchokubanga this is easier. Could be singa tumanya emirundi events meka muzeyi boma zange no vuga. Otherwise now that we don't know how many events tetumanyi luli yatugamba 10 n'amalanga extend
he saw it that he had the chance on the championship. He stayed with the web 9 zona kujaka zo zali in a row zono zibade in different teams, but he could go in for the 10th
one. Yes, so olabedde nti alina chance eyo naye that knows will depend on the performance ya Evans to the point natuka nti maze events zange 10 zenina okuvuga omwaka guno standing our against Evans or other competitors bwatuka ndoza nalabanga talina chance ya kuwaninga championship ayinza okulekerawo bwatuka nga akyagina nga byabadde omwaka oguwedde Evans musajja atwazigala nga akyali mu bizibu bingi nga kiyinza omutuukako ekyamutuuseeko omwaka oguwedde
never agenda to the wire.
All right, that's all we've had for you guys. Do you have any parting shots?
This weekend Sunday tuli Garuga URD sprint. Sprint eyo bagiteekawo for competitors okufuna kasente okateka mu nsako yaabwe, but at the same time bagivugidde ku mulamwa gwa road safety nga balina tagline chogeta mu Luganda, the tagline omulamwa nti gwa road safety, drive safe, follow the regulations and stay alive. Tufuna nnyo incidents mu motoka zaffe, not mu competition per se but on the road. Twali tuva Masaka, we had a couple of incidents. We lost a friend in a car accident. We have our office administrator, Mr. Stephen Okwanga, who also got an accident. Stephen tukutumidenye tukusaba owone kususe mangu. Era kati woli chimanyo olikuti oyina obudde oliku TV olaba ne Bukenya kutumide. So he had an accident, and those things come out of road indiscipline and for regulations and things like that. So this whole element of the sprint is for kutamza omulamu ogwo. So babagamba muvuge bulungi mugobera amateeka musigale nga muli balamu. So the sprint eri ku Sunday Garuga pame muje mu bungi munana ejja kubaayo osanga bayinza jiwamu semakula n'abawamu
byakola bite
era ba competitors bonna.
FIFA World Cup egenda maaso, Germany ezanya Paraguay. It's 0-0 after 22 minutes. So of course that game is live for 102.15 FM for the full commentary of the world.
Yes, as not again a more hydration break.
Hydration break. Yes, I think there are 4 in the entire game. All right. Of course, we get back next week to previewing the eras which is upon us. Rwanda is upon us. Aaron, I think making taps to Rwanda and being part of that event should be in your itinerary.
That's what I mean.
Kali, we'll get back on Monday. Maybe in the world of motorsport. Guys, a weekend nunji, ne weekend nunji. We are out.